Welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Dujane Bland. And today we're going to be talking about our Thursday night matchup, Bears-Giants. Giants will be going over to Soldier Field as they try to get a win. We know that's not going to happen. The Giants have looked awful, and last week they had a smidgen of a chance to try to get a win, especially after Michael Vick goes out of the football game. They started fairly decent, and the defense played fairly well, and then the wheels fell off again. Nick Foles comes in, lights them up, gets the win for the Eagles, and the Giants fall to 0-5. On the other side of the coin, the Chicago Bears have been trying to keep pace in the division, coughing it up and choking against the Lions, and then proverbially choking again against the New Orleans Saints in Soldier Field. They've been getting outscored 50-20 in the first half of the last two games. Embarrassing. Well, Chicago fans, it's time for you to get your second bye week. Yes, the New York Giants are coming to town, and I'm sorry, but we have Eli, who's playing erratic, does not have an offensive line that can protect him very well, and they just simply are just completely out of sync. And on defense, they show signs that they can be dominant, and then they proceed to do what high school teams do and allow the big play over and over and over again. I see Jay Cutler getting back on track in this one, Forte getting back on track with this football team. It could possibly be a track meet, and the Bears are going to win this thing quite easily. But what can we say? What can we say? Well, that's it. That's all we can say. It's going to be an embarrassing year for the New York Giants, unfortunately. And hopefully, the Bears can get back on track starting this week. Now we're going to go around the league and look at some other interesting matchups. First, we're going to look at the Eagles and the Bucks. Bucks are 0-4, having problems. It's almost like a dysfunctional family over there. Look at the Eagles. Michael Vick pulls a hammy. Nick Foles comes in. I think we all know who's going to win this game. I like to think that the Bucks could pull it off. I just think it's too much turmoil going on over there. We saw what Nick did in the second half of that Giants game. Seemed to be able to run the offense pretty decently. Of course, we all know that the offense is going to be decent. A lot different with him at the helm, but I think it's more than enough to take care of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We look at the next matchup, the Chiefs, 5-0 against the Raiders. The Raiders were able to steal a win against the Chargers. Very good, right? We said it over and over again. We talked about them when they played the Redskins. A lot of people talking about them missing players, what have you. Garbage. This team has the ability to be able to beat you. They have talent on that football team. They showed it against the Chargers. But I don't think it's going to be enough for this Kansas City Chief football team. We see Andy Reid. We always knew he was a great coach. We saw what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's continuing it here. Alex Smith doing a great job as a quarterback, distributing the ball well, not throwing the ball deep and doing anything spectacular, but he's making things happen and winning football games, and that's all that matters. We're taking the Chiefs here. Next game, Steelers, Jets. What can you say about the Jets, huh? We thought it was going to be a dysfunctional circus. Guys are getting it done. Geno doing his thing. Took care of the Falcons on Monday night. And we know what the Steelers are all about. They're missing guys on the offensive line. Can't protect anybody. Can't really stop anybody, which is kind of interesting, but because the defense is staying out there way too long. And again, what can you say? We're taking the Jets on this one. Now we're going to look at our next matchup. That's going to be the Bills and the Bengals. Now the Bills have had some struggles. EJ Manuel out. Bengals hadn't looked so hot, but they've gotten the job done and got wins where they needed to. I'm going to take the Bengals in this one. I think they're a lot better football team as a whole. I think that's going to show up against Buffalo in the game. And without EJ Manuel, I mean, Nothing against the backup, but he's not EJ, so it is what it is. I'm taking the Bengals here. Last but not least, we're going to take a look at the Browns and the Lions. Browns have looked fairly well, but that was with Hoyer. Brian Hoyer came in, did an excellent job while Wheaton was recovering. Now Wheaton's back. I'm not saying that Wheaton's a bad quarterback. I'm just saying the guy is slow when it comes down going through progressions. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions here. So those are some of the matchups around the league. Hope you enjoy them as much as we will. Now we're going to look at our next big matchup, the Vikings and the Panthers. Now, the Panthers, who we all would have thought would have had a better season start, has a great defense that's playing very well. They're attacking the football very well. But on offense, Cam Newton is just not getting the job done. We see it time and time and again. And at points, we cannot blame Cam. Last week, there were several drops. There was a key drop in the end zone by Steve Smith. But they have the ability to make plays and move the ball very effectively. And Cam has the ability to win the big game. Now, on the Viking side of the football, defense has been what it has been for the Vikings in the last few years. Pretty consistent. Offensively, the talk is Christian Ponder. Now, with Josh Freeman there in that facility, you now have a quarterback controversy. We've heard it across the board. Jay Glazer of Fox Sports made it clear that Christian Ponder was on a short leash. This only proves that to the full. I think it's only a matter of time before Freeman gets his shot at hopefully revitalizing this Vikings offense. Now, we look at these two matchups. They're both struggling on the offensive side of the ball, but we do have Adrian Peterson on that side of the ball, and we know how dominant he can be. With that being said, look for Freeman to come in if Ponder really tanks and does a just horrendous job early. I'm going to take the Vikings in this show because I just think Adrian Peterson is going to be what they need. He's been what they need all week, and I think this week you're going to find that Christian Ponder can manage a football game, and I hate saying quarterbacks manage football games, but he's going to be able to manage the football game and be able to win this game against a struggling 1-3 Panthers team. Well, we thank you for watching our show. Again, if there's something that you'd like to comment about on this show, please leave it at the bottom of our show, and we will keep the dialogue going with you. If there's a topic you'd like for us to discuss, if there's something you'd like to hear our take on, please shoot us an email to straightshootingst@gmail.com. And as always, subscribe to the show. Again, you've been watching Straight Shooting Sports Talk.